Hey, how's it going, everybody? It is Jazzy, the Video Store Sasquatch here, and we are doing our horror movie night in the cave. Like I said yesterday, I have a movie from pretty much every decade. I guess I skipped 2010s. I don't know why. Probably because I've seen a lot of those movies and a lot of these are new. I don't know. I might have even watched one. I just didn't write it down, but that's just how it works. So I have four movies for you. It looks like 4 or 5 movies for you, spanning from 1980 to 2026. We'll start with the newest one that just came out in theaters here, not too long ago, and that is Over Your Dead Body, directed by Jorma Taccone, starring Samara Weaving, Jason Segel, and Timothy Oliphant. A dysfunctional married couple retreats to a secluded cabin to repair their relationship, but each secretly plots to murder each other. Came out April 24th, 2026, had an opening weekend of 1.3 and 2.4 million. I believe it's already on whatever streaming service you'd like to rent it, because that's how I did it. I think it's on Amazon to be 100% where it was. This movie is very good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. It's very definitely a sleeper movie. I think that as it kind of picks up traction with the streaming audience, people will pick it up and realize how good this movie is. It's very simple. Um, Juliet Lewis pops up. I believe his name's Keith Jardine from the UFC pops up, and just one of the funnier roles too. It is a crazy wild movie with just wild gore. And it's a wild concept because the married couple hate each other and they're definitely both planning to kill each other on this trip, and something goes wrong, and all of a sudden they're trying to fight for their life with these inmates had broken out. I mean, it's just a crazy good concept, high concept movie. It's funny, has gore everywhere. It's definitely this is definitely one of those movies that you had to check out, with a great ending and just a crazy kind of story and ride throughout it. Like, I can't say enough good things about this movie other than to go watch it. I definitely give this movie a B plus. It was a very solid movie. Two very solid actors here with Samara Weaving and Jason Segel. And like I said, Timothy Olyphant shows up, and Juliette Lewis and Keith Jardine both kind of like round out this movie to be in like one of the greater movies. Even the guy who plays Jason Segel's dad, I can't remember his name, but he kind of shows up as a badass too at the end, which is kind of cool. A lot of good things I can say about this movie, especially with like the practical effects and like the makeup and everything. Like at one point, you looked at Jason Skull's face and it looked like it was really like swollen and beaten and all that good stuff. So they did just a very fabulous job with that. I would definitely check it out. It is called Over Your Dead Body, directed by Jorman Taccone. The next movie I have, we'll start from 1980s here. Next movie I have is Night School, directed by Ken Hughes, starring Leonard Mann, Rachel Ward, Drew Snyder. Who's been decapitating the innocent girls at a local night school? The police are baffled. On September 11th, 1981, had a budget of 1.2 and it grossed 1.1 million. I bet this is more of like one of those classic drive-in movies or stag movies or whatever you want to call it. They're not stag movies because those are porns, but this is one of those movies where the Grindhouse movie or whatever is definitely one of these movies from '81. It's quick, to the point, not a lot of dialogue, which I don't really mind. Um, it's an interesting story. It's kind of a crazy little twist ending too. Still a nice little like piece of 1980s slasher nostalgia horror there. I mean, like the murders are all right, and like the story actually isn't even that bad, and it definitely has that 1980 pacing where it's more you kind of watch it instead of them like talking or like set up scenes. It's like they're just kind of constantly on the run. So it does kind of set you back in the 1980s feel of movies and kind of or late 70s too as well. Um, yeah, I definitely liked it. I believe this is on Shutter. Like I said, I was just kind of like going through like a video store and just like picking out movies, and this is the first one I picked out of from 1981 from the 1980s. And I enjoyed it. I mean, there's not like a whole lot to it. It's like an hour and a half movie. It's quick. There's not like, but there is like a little twist ending. And if you're kind of looking for like a old school slasher that you might not have picked up on, this is definitely one to watch. And that is Night School, directed by Ken Hughes. And the next one here is from 1990s, Mind Ripper, directed by Wes Craven, starring Lance Henriksen, Claire Stansfield, and John Deal. Government scientists attempt to reanimate a corpse they found in a desert, but end up inadvertently creating a monster. Came out October 8th, 1994. Had a budget 8 million. I couldn't get a gross or anything on it. Honestly, this movie's Wes Craven, that's for sure. I think it's a little bit ahead of its time. I think that it would have came out like maybe 4 or 5 years later. It probably would have got a little bit higher reception than it did. I think this movie might have even went into straight to um, TV. I can't really place it, but I believe that's what I read in IMDb, and that's why we don't have a gross here. It has all the classic Wes Craven people in it. Yeah, Lance Henriksen is definitely a part of that. It's a decent story. It's crazy, kind of pacing, and the monsters is all right for a monster movie. And it's kind of like a slasher, monster, serial killer deal. It really isn't too bad. Giovanni Ribisi kind of pops up in that. That has to be one of his first movies. I really don't know much about his career, but '94 seems really early for him. So it was interesting to see him there. Um, yeah, I mean, if you're kind of looking for a Wes Craven kind of deep cut here, I mean, this is one of those you could check out. I wouldn't say there's anything special about it, but I wouldn't say there's nothing like too egregiously bad about it either. It's a solid movie. Um, that is Mind Ripper, directed by Wes Craven. Um, the last one here we're going to talk about something, and I'll tell you exactly why it sparked my eye. But it's called The Toolbox Murders, directed by Toby Hooper, starring Angela Bettis, Brent Rome, and Marco Rodriguez. A historic Hollywood hotel houses supernatural evil. It's been subdued for decades, but when reservations start, a series of murders take place. Came out September 9th, 2024 at a gross of 187 910. And this movie has Sherry Moon Zombie in it, and that's what caught my eye only. I was like watching it and starting, and I'm like, is that Sherry Moon Zombie? Like, how is that even possible? But when you kind of think about it, this has been right around the release of A House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff like this. It might have been even a little bit before that. But Toby Hooper is synonymous for the Texas Chainsaw Massacres and all that crazy stuff. So I could definitely see him hanging out with Rob Zombie and that kind of how that came together. The movie honestly isn't terrible for like what it is. I've never even heard of it. I don't remember seeing it in like a video store. I don't even remember seeing anything, hearing anything, or knowing anything about this movie, let alone that Sherry Moon Zombie was in it. But I mean, it really is pretty decent. It has a great director in behind it, especially for horror movies. I could probably tell you 1,000 reasons why this movie wouldn't have sold in the box office and got a gross, but if you could kind of spot it or find it on Shutter or wherever I found this, I'll give it a check out. It's definitely a story, and it's definitely kind of came from the same mind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but not being out in the middle of nowhere and kind of being in LA and kind of going along with the kind of superstitious part about it instead of like the psychopathic part about it. But it's still pretty good. You follow it. The people in it that are in it are very good. This is one of those ones I really recommend that you probably maybe not have heard of unless you're like really into deep cuts of movies for people and directors and stuff like this. So if you're thinking about something like that you're wanting to watch, this is definitely one of those. It's Toolbox Murders, directed by Toby Hooper, and that is our horror movie night reviews there for the movies. Um, yeah, we're going along here, chugging along. I don't know what the plan is for this weekend. If I'm even gonna go see a movie or what movie I'm gonna go see if I do see a movie, but I believe that this is already Thursday night, so there's no way that we'll be doing a separate movie. So that'll be on next week's Throwback Thursday. Trying to think of something like fun to do with this horror channel other than or not. I'm just trying to think of like fun horror movies to do and coming up with something. So I think within the next like month or so, we might get like a little fun week or two of just like crazy movies to watch. With a list and stuff like that. I'm just thinking about it now. And that is our show though. Thanks guys for watching, and please have a good rest of your day or night. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comment section. And see you next time in the cave.